Changes in the world of social media, because Facebook, the social media website, which has more than 500 million users every day, is to add a new button, a dislike button, to its website to give users an alternative to the widely used like button when responding to the posts that people put on. Now, Facebook's founder, Mark Zuckerberg, said that he didn't want it to be some kind of mechanism for people to reject or to vote down other people's posts. You might think it's that. He wanted it really to be a case of expressing sympathy or empathy for maybe sad events or sad news, when the like button seems inappropriate. Anyway, that's me trying to explain it. Let him say it.
People aren't looking for an ability to downvote other people's posts. What they really want is to be able to express empathy. And, not every moment is a good moment, right? And if you are sharing something that is sad, whether it's something in current events, like the refugee crisis that touches you, or if a family member passed away, then it may not feel comfortable to like that post, but your friends and people want to be able to express that they understand and that they relate to you. So I do think that it is important to give people more options than just like, as a quick way to emote and share what they're feeling on a post. So we've been working on this for a while. It's actually it's surprisingly complicated to make an interaction that you want to be that simple. But we have an idea that we think we're going to be ready to test soon, and depending on how that does, we'll roll it out more broadly.
So there's a hint of what's going on. It's already a big development, and Mark Zuckerberg there giving us his thinking. James Bromley is with me from SwiftKey. That's a British company that's making great strides developing lots of methods for inputting into smartphones and tablets, including keyboards for emojis. It's good to talk to you, James. Thanks for coming in. The dislike button. So, I mean, he explained a bit of the thinking there. Do people want it? Is there great demand for it?
I think the first thing to say is it isn't a dislike button. He was quite clear that this was a really difficult problem Facebook were facing. And I think it's fair to say this is going to be more of an empathy button, or an I understand you, or I see you, or actually I agree, but I don't necessarily like what you've posted.
But what will people see then? What will be the icon that people see? If it's a thumbs down, that's a thumbs down.
This is the mystery we're all waiting to see. I mean, the great thing about running a business like Facebook is it's fundamentally a data business. So I'm sure they will be running trials on small percentages of their audiences in different countries around the world, and just testing to actually see the reaction and see how it changes the psychology of the community.
It's odd, isn't it? Because I'm just thinking of, the way that people already have, we talked about emojis there, already have, what, hundreds of different options in terms of expressing not just broad emotions, but very precise reactions or emotions. So put it in that context for us. Why is this needed if things like this are available to us, yes, which we all know,
yep.
And they're very familiar already. If you do have all of these ranges of emotions and responses covered, why do you need this thumbs down? So
what you're seeing there is an emoji, and these are the icons you'll see often when people send you emails, and generally people who are younger who are sending you emails. But Facebook has a little bit of a problem. It's quite binary in the way that people express their emotion. It's a thumbs up, it's a like.
Yeah.
And that's really difficult if someone's sharing content about maybe the refugee crisis, where you actually want to empathise, but what you don't want to do is say you're actually liking what they're sharing.
What on earth is a shoe?
I wish I knew.
That's an emoji. Well, you don't know. If you don't know, there's no hope for us.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm not a specialist in emoji.
Even I know what a heart is. What's the satchel?
So we actually surveyed 1.5 billion emoji usage across our keyboard. And we looked at 31 different languages across the world. And actually, the interesting thing we found is more than half of the emoji that we used were actually positive. They were smiley face emojis. Now, that kind of endorses the fact that Facebook have the like button. What it doesn't talk to is there's another 800 odd emoji. There's 845 emoji in total. There's another 800 emoji outside of the smiley faces that people use to express a really, really wide range of emotion. Yeah. And I think Facebook is desperate to find a way of capturing that data. Now, the important thing for Facebook is as soon as they can get out of just a like and have a more granular, a more kind of a higher resolution on your emotional response to what people are posting, there's two things that happen. They can make the service more effective for you, more relevant, which keeps you more engaged. And as a result of that, they get a chance to monetize you. They can target you more effectively with the advertising and the content that's likely to be right for you.
I hate to do this to you. What was the octopus? Did you know that? When we saw the octopus earlier, which I looked at in a rather puzzled way, the last one, it was a big sort of, that's the one.
Do you know, I have to confess, I have no idea.
I mean, do you know what? This bothers me simply because I realise that I only know about 4.
Well, yeah? I think that there's a thread here that's developing. I'm 40. I think emoji is used by tends to be under 30 most popularly. And actually, we're sitting here talking about Facebook and the dislike button, but the reality is the kids are using Snapchat.
Yeah.
You know, anyone under the age of 20 is predominantly using Snapchat.
Yeah. And which leads me to the point I needed to raise to you at the end of this interview, which is, you know, it's the speed of response, or is it the slowness of response of Facebook to what's been happening already for quite a while? Just in a brief sentence, is Mark and company, have they been rather slow?
I don't think so at all. I think they've had some really difficult challenges to cope with. I think they now have effective ways of responding to bullying. And I think what you're seeing now is a very, very careful approach to rolling out emoji, to rolling out what could be, if we're not careful, used negatively.
James, thanks very much. And you pointed out the 40 milestone. Some of us are beyond that. But you were very sensitive. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. That's James Bromley there from SwiftKey. OK, Jay, let's have the weather. Thank you.
Thanks, Hugh. Good evening. And for some of us, it was actually a pretty decent sort of day, but certainly not for all. The best of the sunny spells are to be found across Scotland, Northern Ireland, Northern England. The north of Wales did quite well, but all of this cloud has been piling its way up from the south.